Hi, my name is Courtney Quiliano, and I chose the children's book No School, My Rules. This book's written by Stephanie Henson and May Tran. I chose this book because I feel like it explains the benefits of school in a really fun and unique way that really relates to, I think, a lot of younger readers and young students. I like how it talks about a disengaged student in the beginning, this girl here, and really shows the growth that she makes throughout this story that she's telling into a mindset that really values school and can see the positive things that can come out of school. I think this book relates to our essential question because it starts out highlighting, again, those negative thoughts about school that are very real, thoughts that these kiddos sometimes have, and its impact on the physical, emotional, and instructional environment of our school. Having those negative thoughts as the kiddo in there coming into the classroom, that kid's going to bring those thoughts and they're going to transfer to other students, and then it's just going to be a room full of kiddos who would rather not be there. And while it's important for us as educators to try to make that not happen, essentially, it's important to not only create the environment, but to also help with the emotional mindset of our children and our students who enter that classroom. That way they know that, their concerns and their fears about school and thoughts are real things, real fears, real thoughts, real concerns, but really help them understand the positive impact that school does have on them now and for as many years as possible. I think this book connects to my personal philosophy as an aspiring teacher, because I really want all of my students, my future students, to experience a very welcoming and safe environment. And I think that this book highlights a lot of real fears that, again, students do have, real thoughts, and, talking about bullies and stressing about what to wear, things like that. And I feel like these are things that I really want to kind of hone in on and focus on, making sure my future students, those who are in my classroom, that those things are the least of their worries, that they understand from the get-go that I am there to help them understand how she thinks, or understand and think the way she thinks at the end of this book, in a more positive light towards school and all of the good things that it can do for her. Okay. So we have No School, My Rules, again by Stephanie Henson and May Tran. And I think this is just so cute. Kids have to go to school. That is the rule. Tiny, tired bodies that would rather stay in bed, running for the bus and heading to class. Tests that creep up and cause so much dread. It repeats every single day. I can think of a million things that don't have to go to school. So why do we? I don't want to go to school. No school. My rules. I want you to think for about 10 seconds. Just think to yourself of some things that don't have to go to school. What's something that doesn't have to go to school? All right, and go ahead and raise your hand if you'd like to share. You don't have to, but if you'd like to share, go ahead and raise your hand. Sometimes I have to deal with bullies at school. But do you know who doesn't have to go to school and deal with bullies? Birds. But if they did, they'd be fine, fearlessly flying through the air with speed and grace, squawking at foes from above the skyline. Fledglings emerge from cracked shells, teach themselves skills to survive, and become winners of wildlife. Rule number 1: if birds don't have to go to school, then I don't have to go. Sometimes I have to talk in front of the whole class at school. You know who doesn't have to go to school and talk in front of the whole class? Sandcastles. But if they did, they'd be fine. Grains of sand that once filtered through creative fingers now hold firm, always able to build themselves up, despite the roar of the ocean. Magical masterpieces on the beach mesmerize awe-struck onlookers. Rule number 2: if sandcastles don't have to go to school, then I don't have to go. I want you to share with a partner. I'll give you about 20 seconds. Do you think that sandcastles are strong because of the sand that they're made of? Or do you think they're strong because of how they're made? Go ahead and share with a partner. Sometimes too much work means I have to skip recess at school. You know who doesn't have to go to school and skip recess? Skipping recess is the worst, isn't it? Yeah. Dogs. But if they did, they'd be fine. Pups get to lie around and relax in the shimmering sunshine, nothing pulling at them except their leashes. They take long walks and play the day away. These centers of attention and adoration can melt hearts with just one look. Rule number 3: if dogs don't have to go to school, then I don't have to go either. Go ahead and share with a partner. What do you think the word adoration might mean? Our book said these centers of attention and adoration can melt hearts with just one look. What do we think adoration might mean? Sometimes I don't know all the answers to my tests. You know who doesn't have to go to school and know all the answers? Sunflowers. But if they did, they'd be fine. They radiate brilliance all on their own. Powerful poses of confidence with rays of light shining bright on their petals, always turning toward the sun as they grow and thrive daily. Rule number 4: if sunflowers don't have to go to school, then I don't have to go. Sometimes I don't know what clothes to wear for school. You know who doesn't have to go to school and worry about their wardrobe? Trees. But if they did, they'd be fine. With strong foundations and cascading colors from changing seasons, their beauty would dazzle. And in a world where how you look is everything, trees would stand tall above the shade. Rule number 5: if trees don't have to go to school, then I don't have to go. I want you guys to think, pair, share for a moment. Do we think that the clothes or the shoes that we wear means everything? Our little girl, our reader here, says that the clothes that you wear means everything. Do we really think it means everything? Go ahead and think for a minute, and then we'll pair up and chat about it. No school, my rules. But now that I think of it, what do we think she's thinking? I'd love to fly as birds do, but they are also unprotected. Cozy nests are needed to keep them safe from harm. By going to school, I can be brave enough to spread my wings and soar. And sandcastles are fun to build, but they also crumble under waves of pressure. The tide washes away their foundations. By going to school, I won't let an ocean of tears bring me down. You think she's getting brave? Dogs are carefree, but they can't care for themselves like I can. Depending on a pup's parents is difficult. By going to school, I can work hard to fetch a future by myself. Sunflowers are brilliant, but wilt at the end of the season. Bright, but fragile. By going to school, I can grow tall and be confident all year long. I suppose standing still like a tree all day would be boring. A stationary pillar of nature is pretty, but I have my own branches to climb at school. I'm a kid, so I have to go to school. That is the rule. And speaking of rules, I do want to go to school. Yes, school, my rules. Very excited about school now. So I want you guys to think, pair, share again here. So what are some good things about going to school? Maybe things that are fun, or you think that will help you even outside of school? Go ahead and think, pair, share for a moment. Thank you for watching my Read Aloud video. I hope you can add this book to your library if you haven't already, because it is a cute one and a good one. Thank you. Bye.